In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the CryptoKeeper and BlockchainCrusader. Welcome to Debate Crypto.
Next up, let's jump into it. We're going to talk about my girlfriend. That is correct. We are going to talk about my girl. And if you've been following me for any amount of time, you know what it is. That is ETH, Ethereum, my chica, my love, right? Don't worry, my wife knows. Vitalik Buterin puts forward EIP 4488. A side note, super great guy, incredibly intelligent. Every time I look at him, I get a little freaked out. I can't tell you what it is, but I feel like he like stares into your. I think the depth of knowledge that he has up in that cranium, like stares into my soul, and I'm like, yeah. So, at any event, I digress. This week, Vitalik Buterin and Ethereum developer Ansgar Dietrichs co-authored a new Ethereum improvement proposal, EIP 4488. For those of you that don't know, this is a pause, right? Ethereum improvement proposal. So if you ever see EIP, that's what that is, okay? This seeks to cut the gas fees of Ethereum layer 2 scaling solutions. The proposal is intended to act as a more immediate fix to high gas costs while more robust solutions are developed. Pause, okay? Layer 2 scaling solutions. This channel is all about one thing. Well, two things. First thing, education. Okay. And then we take that education to help you better game plan for your future. So, what is a layer 2 scaling solution? A layer 2 scaling solution is where a layer 1 would be ETH on the Ethereum network, right? That is layer 1. It is base layer. It is Ethereum, the token or the coin rather being ETH. Okay. Layer 2 is a token which is built on top of another network. So a layer 2 in Ethereum's case would be Matic, Polygon. It is built on top of, and it is a scaling solution. A scaling solution is where it helps the asset be able to transact faster or make prices cheaper. It is basically allowing it to grow at a better rate, not just a better rate, but also fix bugs and problems. So let's get back into it. So Vitalik Buterin, along with the Ethereum developer Ansgar Dietrichs, has put forward a new Ethereum improvement proposal designed to lower layer 2 gas fees in the short term, while more effective long-term solutions are developed. Ethereum gas fees have been very high for the past few months, and while layer scaling solutions that use either optimistic rollups or ZK rollups are the only trustless scaling solutions for Ethereum, even gas fees using these protocols are too expensive for some. For example, Optimism and Arbitrum often provide fees 3 to 8 times lower than users can get on the Ethereum base layer. And ZK rollups can provide fees of up to 100 times lower than on Ethereum base layer. But these fees still are not trivial. Now, pause. This is what was just said here was a fact, okay? The fees on Ethereum are not small, right? They're not. Sometimes you can go over to Uniswap and legitimately, depending on the time of night, you can have a couple $100 gas fee equating to a couple $100, and that's just out of line. That should not be happening, right? But it is a reality right now. So these layer 2 scaling solutions are huge. Okay, some of the problems that I see with the layer 2 scaling solutions. First thing, a lot of times, if it is actually built on the layer 2, we ran into this with our most recent NFT. It was built on Polygon, directly on the Polygon network. Well, guess what? We had to actually bridge some currencies, right? So we had to bridge ETH over onto, we had to move it essentially over onto, we had to move some Matic over onto the actual Polygon Matic network from the ETH network. That's called bridging. You take an asset from one layer, essentially move it over to another layer. That's called bridging. Guess what? Bridging that was $80. So I needed to make what equated to about a 2-cent transaction, okay? And it was going to cost me $80. So there is still problems Still problems. Hear me on this. There's still problems with the layer twos, right? And so what the biggest thing that I can see that needs to happen as we progress forward in the cryptocurrency space is interoperability and usability while that interoperability is happening. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that if we're going to figure out a way to get fees from here to here, then we need to really figure out how to get fees from here to here, because ultimately what's happening sometimes is we bring fees from here to here, but oh yeah, we've got this other fee that puts us back to here, right? And so that is because there's so many different moving parts, so many different networks, so many different solutions, so much different code. There's just a lot going on. And I don't claim to be a programmer. I don't claim to be a coder. I'm not. I'm an investor, right? So I don't know the ins and outs. What I do know is that it is very, very complex. And so I will give them a pass for now as we move forward, as we continue to grow in the need to figure some of that out. That is a fact. So EIP 4488 seeks to further decrease layer 2 gas fees in two ways: by decreasing transaction call data cost, which is a primary mechanism for both optimistic rollups and ZK rollups, as well as by adding a ceiling for total transaction call data that can be in a block. Increasing the amount of data space available to rollups is, according to Buterin, doable today, as block sizes are nowhere near the sizes that would threaten network stability. While data sharding may be seen as the long-term solution to the imperfection of rollups, this proposal seeks to reduce gas fees in the very short term, possibly by Christmas of this year, according to a tweet by the team at ZK Sync, itself a layer 2 scaling protocol. With Buterin himself calling for an ecosystem-wide transition to a rollup-centric Ethereum as the desired short-term solution to cut gas costs, is no surprise that Ethereum scaling solutions have grown alongside Ethereum. Guys, listen. At the end of the day, ETH has what we call network effect, okay? It has grown exponentially. It is massive, and so much is built on top of it. It's not going anywhere. I actually think I saw a tweet earlier that said there is no Ethereum killer, right? And I actually really love seeing it, because you guys know how much I love my girl back here, right? ETH is where it's at. The problem with ETH is the glaring problem of gas fees. That is the problem, right? Could we speed things up? Sure, right? The throughput, as it's called, is definitely important, but it's the gas fees for me, right? It's the gas fees for me. Now, let me say this. The institutions are getting involved in ETH, right? They are buying Ether at this point. They ultimately are not concerned about a couple $100 on a gas fee. When you are making hundreds of millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars worth of transactions, you're not worried about a few $100 on a gas fee. However, the retail trader, the retail investor, the retail hodler, right, is, because it does make a difference for us.